Hey guys, Jeffrey Cundy here. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about Gretsch and Fender, or really Gretsch versus Fender. These two companies are my favorite companies of guitar, and they're actually owned by the same company. They're all both owned by Fender. Fender bought Gretsch in about 2006, '07, something like that, and owns all the licensing to Gretsch. So not necessarily the creative control of the way Gretsch makes guitars, but the distribution and basically is the big parent of Gretsch now. So I am lucky enough to have quite a few of both Fender and Gretsch, and I'm just going to demonstrate each of the ones that I own, or actually a few of the ones that I own, and talk about their differences and why I choose what I choose when I choose it. So let's start with Fender. Today I'm playing, first of all, a American Professional Series Jazz Master. In a second I'm going to pick up a Tele, and then I'm going to pick up a Strat. And first of all, I only play the American line of Fender. I have three main guitars for Fender. I have this Jazz Master, a American Telecaster that I bought when I think I was 15 years old, that I still play, and then a American Stratocaster. Both of those are the American Standard Series. And all of those guitars I haven't done any mods to. I haven't replaced pickups in or changed the nut or anything like that. I find that they're pretty well suited for me the way they just come from the factory. That's not to discourage people from modding. It's just my personal story with those guitars is that I haven't touched them too much. They're on a lot of records that I play on, though. The Strat was on almost every song from our latest record from Jesus Culture, which was called Love Has a Name. So almost every song has some Strat in it. If not, the whole song is Strat. Then there's some Tele on it, and then there's some like White Falcon Gretsch sounds too. So anyway, Fender as a whole is a lot more known as a single coil brand. They like the P90 is a single coil pickup, has more of that vintage gritty sound. The Teles have their Tele single coil pickups. The Strat has the single coil pickups as well, and that's their signature sound. So it's more of a tight EQ. It's not tons of low end, but definitely a tight low end sound. Lots of high end and very punchy. It's got a lot of grit. It's got a lot of just natural, like, mid-range honk to it. Yeah, it's known for its mid-range sort of growl, I think they call it. Right now, you should know I'm direct into my computer, so I'm just using an amp modulator basically, and so you're not getting the full resemblance of this guitar, because normally I would be playing through an amp, but it's a pretty good picture of what it sounds like. Let me go ahead and pick up a Strat and play that for you. Here we have my 1998 Strat. This is American Series, and this has been my go-to guitar this year. This is 2017, and I have been loving this guitar because it's been the perfect fit for our stage. Lately, Chris, our rhythm guitarist, has been using a Broadcaster by Gretsch, which has a big, warm, full sound with great high end, a lot of punchy high end, but this is a little bit of a thinner guitar. Of course, it's a very classic guitar. Everybody plays them. I'm a huge John Mayer fan, so I kind of took it upon myself this year to learn how to play a Strat, really, to make it sound good, to make it not be too bright in the high end, to not hurt, but to get that full, smooth Strat sound that only some end up really achieving. I see a lot of younger players pick up a Strat and then they aren't able to make it sound right because it's got so much natural high end and so much clarity that they lose a lot of body with the guitar. So with this guitar, I'm always like using the tone knob to sort of find that balance between too much high end and too little. So automatically you can hear the difference between this and the Jazzmaster. It's got less of that mid-range honk. I've toned it down with the tone knob to give it a more of a smooth top end versus a bright piercing top end. So again, this has been on a lot of records that we've been doing lately, but especially Love Has a Name record. All right, I'm gonna pick up my Telly. Okay, this is my American Standard Telly. This is a dear guitar to me because it's, I think it's the second guitar I bought. And I played this guitar for a lot of years, just this guitar solely, because the first guitar I bought was the SG, but as you guys probably know, the SG isn't as versatile maybe as a Fender can be. So this guitar with the single coils became like a just go-to for me, and still is really. It's one of the guitars that I would go grab if there was a house fire and I just needed to grab one guitar. This and my SG would be the first ones that I would grab. But this guitar just sounds almost perfect in every scenario. It's my favorite of all my Fenders because of that reason. It's like you can always grab a Telly and it's gonna sound almost exactly right for the part. It's just weird. It's just that Telly sound. So I remember a part I played on this was Blow Mighty Breath of God from our Come Away album. You can hear that natural Telly low end clarity. Anyway, this is a Telly. It sounds awesome. Everybody should have one. Let's go move on to Gretsch. Okay, here's my Duo Jet. This is the first Gretsch I've owned. This is a 05 Duo Jet. As you can see, it has a bigger headstock, a different Gretsch logo than most Gretches, and that's because it's pre-Fender. So it's when Gretsch owned itself, basically. So anyway, this is a fantastic guitar. It's been used on tons of the records that we play. It was my go-to travel guitar for years and years. And just a little about it. It's got Filtertrons. It's a chambered hollow body. So most Gretches have some sort of hollow body feature, whether or not it's just chambered like this one. So basically it's hollow inside. Or it's got the F holes like the Falcon or the Country Gentleman's and stuff like that. All of them have that great Gretsch characteristic to them, which is that smooth top end with a lot of like width and that great Gretsch sound, like they say, which is just undescribable but yet unmatchable. It's not anything that the Fender could ever do. It's not anything any other guitar can do. It's just sounds like a Gretsch because it is a Gretsch. And let's just play it. know, that part would never sound the same if it wasn't played on this guitar or some sort of Gretsch. It can't, because that part was written for a Gretsch. It was written with a Gretsch, it was recorded with a Gretsch, and it's unmatchable. So anyway, that's the Duo Jet. It's got a little bit of a tighter sound than, like, let's say the Falcon, which I'll pick up next, but it's been an awesome road guitar, nice and compact, yet has that great Gretsch sound. All right, here's the Falcon. All right, here's the Falcon. This is just a fantastic guitar. It's a real piece of art. It's iconic for not only music history, but for my career. I've done tons of part writing and recording with this guitar, and it's just got that Falcon sound. I remember a part I played on it way back in the day that wouldn't sound the same on any other guitar. Would be the Holding Nothing Back part from Consumed record. Or the same thing I was playing on the Duo Jet. Again, we're just through a direct, fake amp modulating setting, basically. But you can hear the different characteristics of each of these guitars and why they just all sound completely different from each other. Now, people ask me, should I buy a Fender or should I buy a Gretsch? And the decision's obviously up to you. It's more what sound you're going after and what situation you find yourself in more. Do I pick up a Gretsch or Fender when I'm going to a Sunday morning? It depends on what the other guitarist is playing. If it's Chris, he usually plays a Gretsch, so I'll usually take a Fender just to pair well with it. If it's, Brian Johnson, he used to play a lot of Telly when he led, and so I would often bring a Gretsch. So pairing those two together has been really something that we've tried to do on our stage. But then again, two Fenders or two Gretches also sound great on the same stage. So you can't go wrong with either one. It's just kind of whatever suits you, whatever floats your boat, and what you can afford, really. The Fenders typically are a little bit cheaper than the Gretches. And, I just say own them all. Why not? Just start building your collection. All right, that's all the help I can give today. Thanks, guys, for watching. Hope it helped. See ya.